Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today I'm doing an unhaul. So last year I didn't really do this. I think I may have done one and one was a part of Vlogmas. But you guys seem to really like that one that was part of Vlogmas. So I thought I would try and do them a little bit more frequently in 2021. I've talked a little bit about my unhaul process before, but I tend to get rid of about 5 books on average per month. Ones that I've read, ones that are on my TBR that maybe I've tried to read and didn't like, or just ones that I've lost interest in. So I won't be doing these monthly, but I will be doing them occasionally. I will be doing them more than I have in 2020. But we're here today. I've got a couple that I picked out. These aren't all the ones that I'm unhauling, but some of them I just don't really have a reason why I'm getting rid of them, and others have more personal reasons. Some I'm just replacing, so forth. And yes, I thought I would show you these ones. Got a couple here. Let's jump into it. First up, I have one almost fell. I have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This is one of the Signet classics. If you've been around this channel for a while, you might know that I started listening to this as an audiobook like in April last year, and I still haven't gotten through it. I've tried to read this many times, and I've just kind of finally accepted that if I'm ever going to finish it, it's going to be as an audiobook, and I don't really need a physical copy because I don't foresee myself ever rereading it. So yes, I don't need this on my TBR. There we go. It's done. It's gone. Okay. So here I have 2 books, one I've read and one I haven't. This is My Fake Rake, Scandal Takes the Stage, both by Eva Leigh. I read My Fake Rake in December and I really didn't like it. I just don't like Eva Leigh's writing style, and I just found that I didn't enjoy the direction she seems to take her romances. So yeah, I tried to read this one as well to see if it would be different. I read the first 30 pages or so, and it wasn't. So those 2 are going. I don't often unhaul historical romance because I generally love, or at least enjoy, most of them. But yeah, these ones I didn't. So they're going. And then I have, this is kind of a theme, where I have 2 books by authors that I'm getting rid of. So I have Melina Marchetta, who is kind of like an Aussie YA classic. This is Saving Francesca. This is The Piper's Son. I'm still kind of torn whether I'm actually going to get rid of these. I read Saving Francesca back in high school, so about 8 years ago. And The Piper's Son is kind of like a follow-on to it, and I never read it. And I bought these, I think in 2018 or 2019, one of those. And I just haven't really been that interested in picking them up. And I just don't know that I want them sitting on my shelves anymore. And I don't know whether I would enjoy them again. Because my reading tastes have changed a lot since then, and these are also kind of like, I think like early 2000s. Yeah, 2003 is when this one came out. And yeah, I still have a copy of Looking for Ella Brandy, which is one of her other books, probably her most famous. And I love that book, and I would never get rid of it. But I just don't know that I want to read these, and if I really do, her being an Aussie author, quite easy to find in libraries and things like that. So yes, I think I'm going to get rid of them. I just don't have a lot of room on my shelves, and I just don't know that I want to keep things that I'm kind of meh about. Which leads me into the last two, which is Jeff Setner. This is Serpent King, this is Goodbye Days. I bought these because I really liked his book, Raina and Delilah's Midnight Matinee. I talked about it multiple times on this channel. Loved it, really great book. Read it last year, and it kind of blew me away, and I was not expecting it at all. So I bought these two. Started The Serpent King, got about 90 pages into it, I think, and kind of hated it. It's very religion based, and that's just not something that I know a lot about or that I'm particularly interested in. And yeah, it's just kind of like misfits and this sort of thing, and I'm like, I've read this before, and I don't know that I really care. So I was gonna get rid of this one because I just wasn't liking it. But yeah, then I decided to get rid of Goodbye Days as well, because I read the back and I was like, yeah, I don't know that I could mentally do this. This is about a young teenage boy named Carver, who all his three best friends, died in a car accident moments after he's texted them, and I just don't know that that's really a thing that I can read. Again, if you've been around here for a while, you know that I love a good sad book. I love anything that's going to make me cry, but I feel like I am particularly sensitive to best friends dying, and not because I've ever been through that experience, but I just think in quarantine, in lockdown, with, you know, and being careful, I haven't got to see my best friend very much, and I wouldn't be here without her. She's the most important person in my life, and I just the thought of that kind of freaks me out, and I just don't know that I could do this. And I think as well, with when it comes to triggers and things like that and sad books, it's very much of like, you know, there's like a level of like, I can take this thing even if this is a lived experience, but this thing that I've never experienced sounds terrifying, and I don't think I can read it. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to some of you. I don't really know. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's a weird thing, right? Like, I feel like I can read things that I've lived through, and, you know, it's going to make me sad, but I can do it. And other things, like, I have no experience with this, but I can't mentally prepare myself for this. Okay, so that's the unhaul for this time. Like I said, these will be going up occasionally during the year. I don't really want to say that they'll be up like bi-monthly or quarterly or anything like that, because I just don't really know. And also I just don't really know what the world is going to look like, so it will also kind of depend on what I have coming in, and also how quickly I can get rid of books and that sort of thing. Yes. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're doing super well, and I will see you guys next time. And I believe it is my haul for December and January, I think. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.